Hey, Zeke. Hi, I'm Tinny from Mini Bowl Design, and today, after watching all the pictures that were in the first of this video, let's talk stove design. Let me move the camera in and we'll get started. My quest here is to have a stove in my backpack that's ideal for everything I do when I'm cooking, when I'm backpacking. And this has proved to be more than a little bit of a problem. For example, at one point in time I threw my hands up and just went and got a mini atomic, which is an excellent stove for boiling water. But after playing with it a little while, I came to the conclusion that if I want to do goose liver pate with white sauce, this isn't going to work because it won't simmer. Simmer's a big thing. Having a couple different degrees of simmer, say if you want to do a potato soup or something like that from a powder that has to cook for like 15 minutes on low heat, you really need simmer. So that was out. Good stove, just not exactly what I needed. Now, I started out with this little stumpy, and that worked pretty good, and then I attempted to put a disc on it, and that didn't work so well. So I kind of had to do a lot of work to figure out why this stove will not work with a simmer top like a slip disc does. Well, come to find out, there's a couple of reasons. One is it gets too hot and gasifies the alcohol that's in it, so it's mildly under pressure, and when you put the disc over, the pressure just overpowers the disc and goes out around it everywhere. So in order to cool down the alcohol, I had this on the shelf. I've been working on this for quite a while. I took this, and originally it looked like this originally, and I had the same problem with this. The heat from the top was going up and heating these legs and heating the bottom, so that when the alcohol came into the bottom, it superheated it and gasified it, so it was pressurized all the time. At least that's what I thought. I thought that was the whole problem. And because it was gasifying it so fast and it was rushing out, really hot stove, but didn't work well for a simmer. So I took and built another one, put a little heavier legs on it. Don't ask me why, just a little more rigid, and in the end it worked out pretty well. And on the bottom of this one, I don't know if you can see it or not, but this is completely mounted in silicone. This silicone goes right down through, it comes out the bottom, and you can see a little crack in there that this doesn't touch the main body. It's completely mounted in silicone. And since this is separated from the bottom in silicone, basically the chamber here where the alcohol is insulated from the main body of the stove. And actually, after you run this, this part gets so hot you can't even touch it. But if you put a rag on it, pick it up, this is only running about maybe 110 degrees. So that I thought would solve my problem of gasification, but it didn't. So I had to go a little further. And what I discovered after many experiments is that since this is right solid full of carbon felt, and the carbon felt is soaked up with alcohol, this top was getting so hot that it was boiling the alcohol, not just at the very top, but it was boiling the alcohol. All the alcohol in the carbon felt was boiling. So what I finally did to cure that was I made this top normal on top, and I'll get to this little tube in a minute, but it actually, in the very bottom of it, it only has about a 3/16 hole with one piece of carbon felt going down through and just dangling in the bottom. So that picks up the alcohol and brings it up to this disc here, which is only 3/8 of an inch thick. So I really cut down on the amount of carbon felt that I have inside of the stove. It's basically all hollow down here. There's very little carbon felt other than that one little strip. And because I cut down on the carbon felt, I cut down on the gasification big time. So now this stove doesn't flare up anymore, and you can actually put a disc on it and it won't overpower it anymore. But when I put the disc on it, and I built the disc like this, got a little edge on it so I can, when it's hot, I can, hang on a second, when it's hot I can grab a hold of it with a pair of pliers. See, that's the reason those are in there. You set it on there, and initially it works pretty good. You have to hold it above the flame for 10 to 15 seconds so that you don't crash it down and suck all the heat out of it and have the flame go out. So you hold it up here about 10 seconds and let it down. The flame goes down, just comes out the center hole, doesn't gas around the edges, and that works pretty good. But after about a minute, for some unknown reason, it was building up pressure and pushing the alcohol back out the hose and back to the remote chicken waterer, and alcohol was flowing out around the top of the chicken water because it was backing the, you could watch it if there was a bubble in it, you could see the alcohol start to go right up the hose and go back to the chicken water. So, after some work, I figured out that when you set this on here, you're sealing it off. You don't have as big an area for the alcohol fumes to escape. And this felt is fairly dense. The alcohol fumes in this big area can come up and escape, but when you put on this, it tends to restrict the ability for the alcohol to vent. And after a few minutes, or after a minute or so, it burns off what alcohol is in there. And when the next batch rushes in and hits that warm or hot aluminum, it gasifies and it just can't get out fast enough. So pressure goes of path of least resistance, which is right back up the hose. So to cure that, I took a piece of aluminum tubing, and you can see it right in there. I put that just above the wick here, all the way down to the bottom of the stove and just off of the bottom. So that now, when it does do that, and you get that little burst of gasification, it just comes out that tube and relieves the pressure. This is a pressure relief tube. And with that, I finally got it so that when you put a disc on, it will just bring a flame out the center of it. It doesn't go out from underneath it. It doesn't back up the hose or anything. It actually behaves itself to the point that I can go all the way down to one this size and get a real slow simmer for a white sauce or a thick soup or something without getting a hot spot and burning it. I can put that on and just get a few bubbles off the bottom, and if I lightly stir it, I won't get any bubbles at all. It's almost perfect for cooking potato soup. So I'm going to call this my potato soup disc. And maybe this is my white sauce disc, I don't know. Maybe poached fish disc, I'm not sure. So that's where I am on this stove, and this stove is so darn complicated, I'm not sure I'm going to reproduce it. But I've ordered some more aluminum stock a little bit bigger, and I think when I get all done, I'm going to come out probably sometime with a completely new stove, right from the ground up. But this is the makings of it now. This is what all this experimentation is. Just Zeke and I sit here for hours and burn alcohol and work on stoves, and it's amazing some of the things I discover. So that's where I am. I'm Tinny from Mini Bowl Design. Get out and hike. Take a friend. Enjoy the great outdoors. And more important than anything, cook some really great meals on your alcohol stove. And have a great day. Bye-bye.